day 74, Canyonlands National Park. So that was the last of Utah's Mighty Five. And it's really about 30 miles away from Arches. And Canyonlands National Park actually has a few sections that are not connected to each other. And the most famous of them is something called an island in the sky. And that's where I was aiming for. And as I got closer to it, there was this huge line of cars that was barely moving. And I was seriously considering turning around and going to the Pinnacles part, which was a little bit further south and hopefully not as crowded, because I really needed to make time. I was aiming to be in the Monument Valley at sunset. But I decided to tough it out. And when I finally got to the entrance to the park, I realized what was the holdup. It wasn't the crowds. It was the fact that the park ranger that sat at the entrance booth was actually chatting up every car that pulled up. And I was like, dude, do you not realize what you're doing? So anyway, Island in the Sky is what it's called, an island in the sky. It is this huge piece of earth that's surrounded by the deepest canyons on both sides. And the views of the canyons are absolutely out of this world. A lot of them look like a 3D puzzle. It actually messes with your perception big time, because it's like a canyon inside a canyon inside a canyon. And you see the Colorado River snaking its way down on the bottom of it. And again, the park is pretty much this drive that goes along it, with a whole bunch of offshoots and viewing points. And again, the views are just, well, it's Utah, so the views are out of this world. And once I was out of the park, it was a long drive to Monument Valley, which is actually a few hundred miles away. It's on the southeastern edge of Utah, almost bordering Arizona. And this is the site which appears in so many movies, starting from good old westerns and ending with one of my favorite movies, which is Forrest Gump. So I drove the Monument Valley at sunset and I took a whole bunch of pictures. It was already a little bit too late in the day, so the sun was too much in your face. And then the wind picked up and it kicked up quite sizable sandstorm. And I was thinking of driving the dirt road among the monuments themselves, but this is on a Navajo reservation, and just like anything on Indian reservations, they charge you an arm and a leg for everything, and it costs $20 to drive the dust road. And I was like, no way I'm doing this now in the dust storm. So that was my day, the last day in Utah. And I'm just going to stop talking and let you see some more pictures of the amazing Canyonlands and the Monument Valley.